was the elixir of life and philosopher's stone. And what helped Mr. Brunel to dig the Thames Tunnel? Sure wasn't it whiskey from old Inishowen? So stick to the creature, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. And boys, I'd half wonder if lightning and thunder wasn't made from the plunder of whiskey, me boys.
Welcome to the Wilderness Wavelength Podcast.
Cigars lit. This is another whiskey tasting, probably our quarterly whiskey tasting events. Scotch and whiskey. Scott Sunderwald here, of course.
Yeah, we're trying to make these weekly events now, aren't we?
Is that the thing?
Yeah. Daily, I mean, if we can, right?
Yeah. That was the voice of Reuben Anderson. Reuben, you were on a Scotch tasting one before. I would say our professional Scotch
connoisseur.
Yeah.
I would say I'm an enthusiast. I know a lot of people that know a lot more about whiskey than I'll ever know in my life.
How many bottles you got in your whiskey room now?
Just over 100. I think is about the.
I think you're professional.
Yeah, that sounds professional.
When you go with 3-digit, that turns you from amateur to pro.
Yeah, and that's Jonny K. There. He's been on the podcast a few times. The father-son camping trip, of course.
Yeah. Inaugural.
Yeah. So tonight we're trying. Okay, we got cigars going.
Yeah, tell me about the cigars. You guys went out to get these. These are gigantic.
Yeah, ginormous cigar. I didn't realize how expensive cigars can be. Like you can start at, I think there was $9 ones, and then there's $200 ones.
$35, $50. Yeah.
These ones are right in the middle of the road, like $12.50 sort of thing each. They're from Nicaragua. Medium full strength, notes of coffee and cream with touches of aromatic chocolate. The dark wrap adds a touch of spice. So these are Junction Maduro Gordo cigars. Big ones, tasty.
So far, I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so we're mixing this with, we've got, 7 or 8 bottles of...
Yeah, we're starting with an American whiskey.
Yeah, break us down for us.
This is a Whistle Pig bottle. It's the Piggyback 6-year rye. So this is a rye whiskey, which will have kind of a spicy, similar to, some of the, if you've had a lot of Canadian whiskey gets called rye whiskey, when it's actually, there's a lot of corn in the mash bill. A lot of Canadian whiskey is more similar to a bourbon than to like a rye whiskey. But when it's 100% rye, it really gets a spicy rye note. But then there's also kind of... they're aged in oak barrels, so you get that oak flavor. Cocoa. I think leather was in the taste,
I taste a little leather with this, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little spice kick to it. If someone's tuning into this podcast right now and they're like, why should I listen to these guys drink scotch and smoke cigars? Like, what are we going to learn on this episode, do you think?
I don't know if we're going to learn that much. We're going to learn that we enjoy the flavors of all of these whiskeys, I think.
Yeah.
This one is, I believe it's 46%. I don't have the bottle in front of me.
It's got some bite to it.
Yeah, that's the rye. The rye gives it that little extra spiciness.
Yeah, there is some spiciness.
You might get some,
for sure,
black pepper notes.
Well, we've brought this up before, George. I have to do it again. Why have whiskey on a Wilderness Wavelength podcast? When
because Scott's a fan.
Because I'm a fan, and that's where it ends. So no more questions. If you go in the backcountry, you're not throwing a 2.4 on your back hiking for 50K. So a good bottle of whiskey is a nice thing to have around the campfire. It's light.
Yeah.
It's nice to be shared, and people just need a little education sometimes. So we're here for your education.
Yeah, that's it. It's a sacrifice we're willing to make. The cigars, good. Do you take cigars normally with you when you're out in the backcountry then, Scott, or what's the...
Sometimes. Cigar for me is more ice fishing for some reason, but generally I'm a pipe guy. It's just so easy to take your pipe tobacco.
And you're growing your own tobacco?
I'm growing my own tobacco as well, and it's so expensive, so if you can grow your own...
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
Do you grow it outdoors or in a greenhouse?
Outdoors, and it's crazy because we're here in Hinton, Northern Rockies, and you can get 5-foot, 6-foot tall plants in. We're climate zone 2 here, which is basically Siberia, and yet this Cuban tobacco grows as tall as a small tree. The challenge with it is learning how to age it. You can't just rip the leaves off and stuff them in your pipe or make a cigar.
Yeah, you gotta hang it and dry it. And
you gotta dry it, and then you gotta ferment it. And that's the tricky part, because fermentation, you don't want mold setting in, so you're constantly rotating the leaves, keeping them warm and damp. And then you do it until they get kind of a nice raisin smell, and then you know you're onto something. Or the cigar, when we pulled them out, had a bit of a barnyard smell, which that's fermented tobacco as well.
And then if I've learned anything from cigarette companies, you have to add like about 150 other chemicals in after.
I don't do that. Sometimes I'll put some bourbon in a squirt bottle. And squirt the pipe tobacco with some bourbon.
Like a mister kind of?
Like a mister, yeah. And, if you want a little bit of flavored, vanilla is always nice.
Yeah.
In your tobacco.
Smooth tasting cigar. Smooth tasting. So this is 6-year aged.
Whistle Pig.
And
where did you say Whistle Pig's made?
It's American.
Okay.
I don't know if they're Kentucky. I think they are.
Yeah, it's very bourbony to me. I would have guessed this was a bourbon. Very nice.
Yeah.
Lots of spicy flavor going on there.
Bourbon has to have a minimum, I believe it's 50% corn in the mash bill, and this is 100% rye for the grain. So that's the biggest difference. But
I didn't even realize this either, Johnny. We're drinking from the whiskey glasses. So we got a couple different types of glasses, but these are whiskey glasses with your name etched into them.
These were
nice.
Father's Day gift on the first Father's Day after my son was born.
Wow.
They're all monogrammed with my name, etched in with ice, and then it's got a little thing about how I'm my son's superhero and that on the back, and
on the decanter,
on the decanter there. So it's
very nice. Yeah.
I don't get to use them a lot, but it's nice to get out and actually
little nostalgia.
Share a couple glasses with them. It feels like forever ago. It was in the middle of COVID. It was 2020. You never knew the world was going to be the same again. And now everybody's sitting around a campfire with just living the old life, you know. And
that's right.
What is the point of a decanter? So Johnny's got this famous or fancy decanter, but why are we using that for something?
Decanter. So you're getting basically oxygen into the whiskey. When you first open up a bottle, a lot of people will say you need to let the bottle open up, and it'll taste differently after it's been open for a month. And a decanter helps it to get it to that process of getting a little bit of oxygen in there. So kind of softens the whiskey a little bit, and can bring out some of the other more nuanced flavors instead of you get more alcohol kind of flavor, boozy flavor.
So you're recommending someone buys, let's say you buy a $100 bottle of scotch or whiskey or something, put it in a decanter then?
I usually will open the bottle up and pour a drink, and then I'll just wait. I have so many other options. I'm not in a rush to drink anything really. So I'll check in on it, after about a month, and then maybe again after 3 months, and see how it's doing. But if you we have this whiskey that he bought, we want to all have a good. It's only a 500 ml bottle, so we want to all have a good taste of that tonight, and getting it to that open stage in the decanter, I think is a great option.
I think someday we're going to make a pilgrimage to your legendary whiskey room.
Yeah. Can you tell us what's going on in your whiskey room now? You've created a whiskey room in the basement.
I have a room in my house, that I did a small renovation on. I put cedar wainscoting up on the walls. I built in shelves, cabinets and shelving, so I could have, I basically, it started with I had bought whiskey in almost every room of my house, and I didn't really know what was where, and so I wanted to. My roommate moved out, and I was like, I'm just going to get it all together and just put it downstairs. The room, it's a raised bungalow, so there's a natural kind of a ledge that goes all the way around. And I was just kind of set it all up on that ledge, and I was like, I kind of like seeing it all here together, and it made it fun for choosing what I wanted to drink. But the room was kind of just builder grade beiges and taupes, and I was like, this isn't really the environment I want. So I painted the walls like a deep navy, and then it's the wainscoting is cedar, but it's unfinished, so it's like a nice light wood. And then I bought some really nice chairs and tables, so it's a real comfortable spot to sit down and have a dram.
I think the lesson is kick out your roommate and turn it into a whiskey room. That's what I'm hearing here. We're also going to do a little campfire stories here tonight because it is Wilderness Wavelength. We've got some Would You Rathers and some adventure stories, so we're gonna pepper some of those in here as well, folks.
I need another drink though. Through this whiskey. So that was the tough part we had. So we got 7 or 8 bottles of whiskey and scotch here, trying to figure out the order to drink these in.
What's the best order? I think we should move to that Bridgeland Tabercorn
This is the one that's in
101.
the decanter?
Yeah, so
All
this
right.
Bridgeland is they're, I think, Lethbridge area, and they're kind of a craft distillery. They're doing some really great things with whiskey. And
It is Calgary. It actually has a Calgary bridge imprinted on the bottom of the bottle there. So yeah, that was they. Apparently the local liquor store here, Orchid, down the way there.
Yeah.
He actually said because of all the tariffs and all of that, he mentioned that he had bought a whole bunch of this. He didn't know if you're going to be able to keep on buying from the U.S., right? So he had found some local guys, so he bought a whole bunch of it and brought it all in. And he said that there's been met with pretty good responses from everybody, that they've all enjoyed it. There's one person he said that buys probably about 20-30 bottles of it. The guy loves it. He's thinking maybe you can make a wall out of it, because it's a perfectly square bottle there.
Yeah. It's a nice looking bottle. We'll post some pictures of these. You can check them out on the Instagram page. But I'm curious about that. So the guy that's buying the 30 bottles, do you notice a resale in some of these rubes? Have you looked into that?
some of them. This one just sells for retail, but yeah, some of the harder to get bottles, they just set out a limited amount of them, and then they go on the secondary market at auction for double, triple, quadruple the price.
Have you done any of that yet?
I have a hard time buying anything for more than retail.
Yeah.
I've been lucky to, I search a lot, and I've been able to find a lot of hard to get bottles at retail price. So
this stuff smells, got a real like vanilla smell to it. I kind of get off it.
This is they call it bourbon, BRBN, and it's made with Tabor corn. Bourbon has to have minimum 50% corn in the mash bill, and they use Tabor corn, and then they would use a blend of other grains, I think rye and.
It says here, handcrafted using a traditional pot still.
Yeah.
Do you know how many years that's been aged on there?
Minimum, I think 3, but I don't think that has an age statement.
Yeah.
They'll usually blend a few different barrels together till they get the flavor that they want, and from a few different years.
Yeah.
And in a numbered, like an age statement whiskey, the minimum age, if they call it a 12-year whiskey, it might have 15-year-old whiskey. It might even have a little bit of 21. Like can have anything.
It is 50.5%.
So okay. I was going to say there's a little bite at the end. I didn't know if that was based on the percentage or how long it's been aged, but it comes on very smooth and then hits you with a little bite.
It's
little
sweeter than
kick
the
in the
rye.
back of the throat there.
There's more of that like vanilla, a molasses kind of a sweetness in it. I think, and that comes a lot. The corn has a lot of sugar in it, so bourbons are always a pretty sweet whiskeys. Not always, I guess, but usually.
Johnny, you were in some kind of like whiskey monthly club or something too, where you get like a new bottle every month?
I did. It was all last year. It was the year before last year. At Christmas, my mother-in-law bought me the Whiskey Drop subscription.
Yeah. Whiskey Drop is a whiskey store in Edmonton.
Yeah, and it
great shop.
It was a great shop. It was a great time. Like it was a pretty reasonable price. She's not a big spender for Christmas, Like it was reasonable, like a couple $100 or something like that. And every month, I would get a different 2.6 of whiskey. They ranged from Japanese whiskey to like hardcore Irish whiskey. They ranged from like 70% down to your like 35%. Every month I would get a new 2.6, and I'd usually drink it through the month and then leave maybe 4 ounces at the bottom. So at the very end of the year,
mix them all together.
I mixed them all together. I try them all. And I wanted to have like a 1 against 1 competition, but that's a tough thing to have, because the more you drink of it, the more you taste of it, the better it tastes. So you're losing your rational.
It's hard to compare, and your palate changes throughout as well. So
I couldn't waste it by like tasting it around and then spitting it out into a bowl. That just seems wasteful.
No, definitely not.
It's tough to compare all of the whiskeys against each other over 12 bottles,
Yeah.
So are you getting unique stuff then because of this?
It was stuff that I haven't seen through most liquor stores that I've been at. There was I can't remember the names of them. I have all of the. They also sent, each one came with a sheet, like a cheat sheet for basically, this is this many years aged. It has hints of this and this and this. It could be paired with this and this and this, and yada yada yada. So it was a good time. She went to buy it for me the next year, but it had like 6 times the price for the exact same membership. So she opted out on it. So I haven't had it since, but it was a good year.
Yeah, we're only 3 months away from Christmas, which seems crazy. Have you guys ever done the whiskey calendar? I've done the beer calendar.
Oh yeah, we've done the beer calendar before.
The whiskey one's just a little pricier, but sounds like a good time.
We did the Hot Wheels Monster Truck one last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of whiskey in that one, or
no whiskey? No whiskey. Mini monster trucks.
Yeah, I've seen the whiskey one. I've thought about it.
So you got like an ounce each day, then? Is that how it works?
So.
Yeah, it's like $300 or so. I think for the calendar.
Reuben had brought up a bunch of like real fancy stuff from his room, and then you forgot it at the Airbnb.
Yeah, I was staying at an Airbnb on the way out here, and I put it away in a cupboard because there wasn't a lot of shelf space or counter space, and then we packed everything up and I left it in the cupboard. So luckily the host was great and
drank it all for you.
They're setting it aside. I did invite him to have a dram I don't know if he's a Scotch guy or not. I said if you want, I appreciate him setting aside for me, and if he wants to give it a try, I gave him some of the tasting notes. Dalmore 15 Highland Scotch was one of them, and the Ardbeg Wee Beastie was another one.
Ardbeg.
That's a PD1.
Yeah, it's a real PD.
I've heard you say have a dram. Now, for those of us who aren't as experienced in the whiskey world, what's the difference between a drink and a dram?
So a dram is just kind of a slang term for about an ounce, like... I think it's 40 cl.
Okay, it's a unit of measurement.
But a wee dram.
Loose unit of measurement.
Yeah, you pour up to about the widest bulge in the Glencairn glass there.
Yes, those are the fancy Scotch glasses.
Yeah, that's the most common whiskey tasting glass, Glencairn, and it's often referred to as a nosing glass as well. So it has kind of a tulip shape to it. And just helps bring the aromas up to the top. So if you're wanting to smell it, this that we're drinking out of right now, this is what you'd call a rocks glass or a lowball glass, and also great to enjoy. I don't think every time you taste whiskey it has to be this big, like, okay, let me get every single flavor out of it and really try to taste it. Like
look at the legs.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to enjoy just enjoy the flavor and not hold it in your mouth for a minute and a half,
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because I've done the Okanagan tours with the girlfriends and that, and you do all the wine tastings, and with the red wine you kind of like suck it through your teeth to kind of aerate it a little bit to get that flavor, and the white wine you swish it around in your mouth, and some of them you gargle, and you see there's all the different tasting procedures, and I haven't discovered the proper tasting procedures here for whiskey yet, but you're saying a minute and a half you should hold in your mouth?
Well, I guess there's a lot of different preferences, but I like to kind of bring it into my mouth and kind of keep it on the front of my tongue and for a few seconds, and then kind of move it to the back of my mouth and see if I how the flavors kind of change and what I can pick out. I'm really looking to try to find, it's incredible how they can change the flavor of whiskey by aging it and by using different barrels and different levels of char on the barrel, and because it's all kind of made with just a very simple water and typically 1 or 2 different grains, and then they run it through a still and age it, and it's like.
And are they all aged at what we call cask strength, and then they water them down? Cask strength is way up there, right?
Yeah, so you can buy you buy a single cask bottle, and it'll typically be between 55 and 65%, but could be upwards of 70.
Yeah, I've seen them.
But the longer they age it, the less whiskey, because it kind of evaporates a little bit through the wood and escapes a little bit. They call that the angel's share, what gets out of the full cask. So I kind of forgot where I was going.
So over time, you're actually getting less alcohol in that barrel, or more?
The barrel's becoming more alcoholic.
Yeah,
The wood.
The angels are.
no, I don't think it's getting really a lot. It's maturing, but I don't think the alcohol content is changing much as it evaporates. Maybe it gets a little bit stronger as it goes, but I think it goes in at a pretty high alcohol content too. But yeah, if some of the water is evaporating out of it, then it would be getting stronger.
Sure.
So
And then they blend it together with other mixes from their stash, and then they add water to get it to the exact right flavor.
I don't know if you guys have this down here in Hinton, but around Edmonton, it's not all liquor stores. The bigger box names aren't going to carry it, but the smaller ones will carry like local distilleries of whiskey, vodka. Like there's T-Rex, there's Red Cup Rye, there's a couple of different ones
Hanson
like this.
Distillery in Edmonton.
Yeah,
there's like just a few blocks from my house.
We're talking your 60 ounce, there's $35 or something. It's very cheap.
Okay.
It's obviously not a high class whiskey just based on the price, you know. But have you guys ever tried any of this? Because I mean, I'll buy it and I'll like mix it with some Coke, and it doesn't make a bad rye and Coke or something like that. But I did want to bring some out here for a blind taste test against some of the higher end whiskeys here, and just didn't work out. But I wonder if you ever tried any of those low ones. Is even like in the Alberta Premium and this kind of thing.
Yeah, I like. I like a rye and Coke, but I tend to like Crown Royal or Gibson's. Those would be my go-to. I do find a difference in flavor from the cheap Alberta Premium. Although there's some expensive Alberta Premium cask strength whiskey that's actually number one in the world in the Jim Murray Whiskey Bible. So Alberta Premium, they have a range like most distilleries do, I think. But yeah, some of that really, really cheap stuff, it just, it gets a little, I don't know, you can get a headache from it, I find, maybe a little bit, and just it just doesn't have as nice a flavor.
You know, I've gone traveling to Europe, and you want to bring something to the Europeans that you're not embarrassed about from Canada. So for a whiskey, 40 Creek is pretty decent.
40 Creek has some nice stuff.
And they've got some good, well-aged ones. The Harvest, was it the Harvest Rye that won the Whiskey of the Year with Crown Royal?
That was, the Northern Harvest.
Northern Harvest, that's a very good one.
Yeah, it's got some interesting flavor in it for sure.
Yeah, so there's two solid ones, and believe it or not, the Wayne Gretzky stuff is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's aged in the sherry casks. I find it tastes quite bourbony. There's a lot of mixture in there, but if you want to take something internationally and have some Canadian pride, those would be three good ones to choose from.
We're talking cheap whiskeys and stuff. Can we crack into the most expensive one here?
Yeah, so we go. We're on Canadian, so go to.
Is the 28-year Wiser's here the most expensive one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
28-year Wiser.
Yeah.
This is.
How old were you, George, when that sucked?
28. So I would have been 10 when this thing was first. The idea of it was starting.
George was 10 years old when this was
Look at this thing. It's such a fancy bottle too. Where'd you get this from, Johnny? And why'd you bring it up for us to drink?
This is a birthday present for 30. Am I 36 this year? I think 36. Yeah.
What year is
it? A cousin of the wife. We usually trade reasonably expensive bottles back and forth.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a spat mid-year nod last year, and I think maybe he threw a couple extra bucks into the bottle here.
Yeah, this is it comes in a fancy box.
This is like
fancy bottle.
Mid $300 to $400 bottle.
Yeah. Let's crack into it.
Let's crack
I don't
into
want to drink all the stuff before trying this one because I'm like, this is.
Now, which?
Yeah, should we use the
No,
fancy?
We should use the Glencairns on
We
this
should use the
one.
Glencairns for this one. Okay, I'll make sure I put it into the right glasses.
We're doing
fresh
some new
Glencairns.
fancy glasses.
Oh, new fancy glasses.
Maybe while he's pouring, we can.
You want a would you rather?
Yeah, a would you rather.
Would you want a would you rather? I got a few written down. Okay, how about this? Is probably gonna take one from you, Scott. Actually, would you rather have a fight with a bear in the forest or a shark in the ocean?
Oh man,
Fight a bear in the forest, shark in the ocean.
I used to always say bear for sure because I like being on land. But the more stuff I've been researching on sharks, and maybe maybe I've watched too much YouTube, but there's so many people who seem to be able to turn them around by coming at them and punting them on the nose instead of doing the panic swimming away. And even with great whites. So, and if you get a bad bear like a grizz, I don't think you can't just put your hand on its nose and turn it the other way. So you know what? Right now, with a bit of whiskey in me, I'm saying I'm going for the shark.
Yeah. I'm gonna say though, it depends where in the ocean. Am I 20 feet from land, or am I 20 miles from land?
You're 20. Oh, that's a good.
So like 20 miles out, and your dinghy got a hole in it, and it's deflating, and you're gonna drown either way. So you might as well just take a quick death from a shark.
No, like you're you have like a life jacket on. You're 20 miles out. There's a boat near you, but you're down.
There's a
life jacket on. I don't think you can fight a shark with life jacket on.
Okay, maybe you don't got a life jacket on, but let's say you're digging into the Titanic or something, trying to find some.
I think I still got to go bear. I got to go bear just because I know how I feel on the land. I know how I feel in the water, and I can swim, but it's just I'm not as nimble. I mean, I both ways I'm probably dying.
Yeah,
but I feel like if I had a weapon, even a knife, I'd have a better chance on land than I would in the water.
Okay.
I just can't move. You like if you're underwater and you like try and punch underwater, your hand just moves so much slower. Whereas in the air, you're that much faster, which in the grand scheme of things may not affect the speed of a bear or a shark, but it at least will make you feel better about what you're doing.
Scott, I know you're drinking water. Should we have water just to
clean the palate?
Clean the palate.
It's kind of nice, but
I'll grab you guys bottles of water too. If
we
you want
have
one
to figure out if you're taking on the bear or shark before you get your water.
I have thouts. So I'll get the water.
Okay, I'll take on. I think I want to go shark as well.
Yeah.
Bop him on the nose, and then hope like hell that my friends get me out of the water.
Yeah.
I think is the move. But I have heard some crazy tales of shark attacks, and people getting back to land and maybe missing an arm, but then still being able to become a champion surfer. So, I think I'll go shark attack.
I'm going bear.
Okay.
Just I feel like there's more weapons I could get on land. Like if you're in the water and battling a shark, like who knows how long this fight's gonna go for.
There's nothing in the water to pick up to hit the shark with.
Yeah, exactly. On the ground, I could hide behind a tree. When you're in the water, like there's nowhere to get to.
If I have a 50 caliber pistol on my hip, then I'm definitely going bear.
Or you're spearfishing,
but like say like a bear's charging you, like you could hide behind a tree or a big rock. Like that's not happening with a shark. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both are rough, and it could go bad either way.
Cam.
That's true. There's far less hiding places in the ocean for a shark than from a bear in the land. That's a quality point.
Okay, I got the palate cleansed. Okay, so we're trying this out. 28-year aged.
You want the tasting notes on?
Yeah.
So, the Weiser's 28-year-old Canadian whiskey exhibits a complex profile with a nose of green apple, creme brulee, and roasted grains.
Oh, as soon as you said apple,
get the green apple
there right away.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's giving way to a palate notes of raisin, vanilla, cinnamon, and white pepper, rounded out by a rich, persistent finish. Whiskey also features notes of delicate fruit, fragrant honey, wholesome rye, embodying the era of its creation.
Smooth.
Oh yeah, that 28 years, they're so smooth on the aftertaste. You can't get that without the age.
It does. Even like just the beginning, even to like 3/4 through your tasting situation, it's very smooth. At the very end, obviously you get the alcohol, a little bit of a bite there, but it's everything's a lot smoother when the older you get with this.
And that's a 40% as well.
I do believe it's 40%.
It's quite sweet.
Yeah, that's nice.
That is delicious.
Very sweet. Yeah. You do smell the green apple.
Yeah.
And just such a smooth finish for me.
Thanks for bringing this one off for us to try, Johnny. This is
it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Chocolate toffee. I get a little I guess that's the creme brulee kind of caramelly kind of.
For a not huge whiskey enthusiast, I'll get like a nice bottle maybe once a year. But having a bottle of like this value, it's been a weird situation for me because I sit there and I like look at it like, man, I'd like a glass of whiskey tonight, and I'm like, do you really deserve a glass of whiskey? And this valuable?
$25
so like,
glass,
then you save it, and then you save it, and then you save it, and then you're like, wait a second, like, this is supposed to be for my enjoyment. Like, why am I saving this and saving this and not drinking it?
That is a good question, Rubes. When Johnny cracks that open a year ago or whatever, is it losing flavor sitting?
It's getting better to a point, and then it starts getting worse. Now, if it's mostly full, it can sit for a long time, 5-10 years. But as you get less whiskey in the bottle, then it gets more and more oxygen in there, and once it gets down to a quarter full, you should probably be finishing that 3 to 6 months. Trying to save. I want to save my last couple drinks of the $2,000 bottle I bought. Is a very bad idea.
I just finish them fast just so they don't spoil.
That's a good plan, Scott.
Yeah. This is really nice, though.
It is. Yeah, thank you for bringing that out. That's one I wouldn't have afforded.
Yeah, me neither. Like my upper limit is 200 is pretty much my ceiling for if I'm going to buy something.
There's so many good whiskeys that are between $100 and $200. Like there's just thousands of options in that price category. So but you do notice, like, when you get up into the I don't know if I notice a difference between a $5,000 whiskey and a $7,000 whiskey, and that's a $2,000 price difference.
Well, Andrew was explaining that to us last time, and something I should have known, but he really explained it well. You're not always buying better taste. It's a scarcity thing, right?
Right.
You might have the last bottle of a keg, and that's why it costs so much. He said he's had some really expensive bottles that didn't taste very good at all. But they were so rare. You're paying for scarcity, not necessarily the best bottle on the shelf.
Yeah, and some of the big brands, Macallan's, if you get some old 1960s, 1970s, 1980s Macallan stuff. It's even if it was only bottled, if it's like a 1960 product that was bottled maybe 21 years later in 81, there's so few of those. Right. Like it's only a 21-year-old whiskey because it doesn't continue to age in the bottle.
So do you have something in your whiskey room that is sort of the crown jewel that you're saving for the most important thing?
I have no, I don't think so. I have a 25-year-old Bowmore that is really, really nice.
Cracked, opened it.
I've opened it, and tried it. I was excited to sample it. So I don't have anything that I'm really saving. There's a couple that I brought back. I went to Scotland last year, as you can hear in the last podcast we did. And I brought back a few bottles from that. I haven't opened all of those bottles. There's a Lagavulin distiller exclusive that you can only buy at the distillery that I haven't opened yet, and it's not that I'm really saving it. I just have so many other bottles open. I don't want to have my entire collection open.
Sure.
So I want to get through some of my other bottles.
So Bowmore is probably my general favorite scotch. It's you just buy it off the shelf. The 12-year-old. It's affordable, great whiskey. What does a 25-year-old taste compared to the 12 there?
Yeah, you get some of the similar flavor profiles. Definitely get the peat smoke. It's it's like kind of like this. Some of the edges have been softened a little bit from aging it. It's a lot fancier of a box that it comes in.
So primarily smoother flavor.
Yeah, I would say more complexity. There's notes that you can pick up in it that are a little bit more subtle than what you get in the 12, but I like the 12 too. I think the 12 is a great daily.
Can't go wrong. Great.
And the 15 and the 18. I got the whole
depends how much you want to put down.
I got some of their single cask stuff as well. It's all great. There's one called the Bowmore Black that is like $3,000 to $5,000 a bottle or so, something like that. And
that's an investment in a bottle.
I would love to have a dram from one of that bottle.
Yeah.
All right, I got a would you rather for everybody here. Would you rather? Oh, there's lots here. I had to write them down because they come to your mind and then you forget them all of a sudden.
Yeah, especially when you've had a few whiskeys.
So, okay. Would you rather, and we're assuming that your size you can fit into these situations.
All right.
Would you rather spend a night in a beaver lodge or an eagle nest?
Oh, wow, that's a great one.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
This came to me as we were walking down
My instinct is
the
eagle nest.
beaver boardwalk there.
Yeah.
The view up in the eagle's nest is going to be great.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of damp and not so great smelling in the beaver house.
Well,
so.
and to get into the beaver lodge, you're going to have to go under the water because their entrances are under the water. Now you got to crawl up this hole. It's completely dark, and you're lying on some wood chips.
Yeah, you're going to be wet and probably cold.
Yeah, I'm going eagle's nest. I just hope I don't break the nest. But
Well, I mean, you're fit to the size of this. So
It's a
in my
huge eagle's nest.
theoretical, in my head, I'm also taking into account the possibility of the owners of said board, the eagle nest,
Who's going to be happy to see you in their
the
nest?
lodge coming back. So you may have to defend yourself against an eagle or a beaver.
and you know what? I do know of people that have been bit by beavers, and those teeth. I mean,
take a chunk out of
They
you.
can take trees
Oh,
down.
I
so
bet.
they
We were
get
trying to
into your
find one
leg
today.
and
We couldn't
clamp
track one
you.
down.
Yeah.
Then again, being dive bombed by an eagle wouldn't be a great experience either.
A beaver's lodge, once you get in there, like in the winter, like it doesn't freeze in there because it's warm enough. It's kind of got like a little insulation. Like it'd be a little cozier probably than the top of a eagle's nest on some post that's 30 feet in the air.
Yeah. Personally, I think I would go with a beaver lodge just because you could fly a drone up and see what it's like to be from an eagle's nest, but there's very few things you could like crawl up into a beaver's lodge to see what it would be an experience that you would not be able to replicate without being in the situation where you were offered these two options.
It would be kind of cool to see. I would love to see the inside of a beaver's lodge. Like go in there. I don't know if I want to spend a night there though.
I think the beavers would be cuddly when they get into their lodge. They think they're safe, and it's gonna be kind of fun.
The question is, do you have a headlamp or is this complete darkness? Right?
Yeah, you're not lighting a fire in there.
That's true.
Yeah.
I want to say some type of night vision ability. I want a headlamp because that's gonna freak out the beavers, but maybe some kind of a night vision goggle so you can at least you can function in there.
And sometimes you get grizzlies trying to rip into the beaver lodge to see what's inside.
Oh, really?
They make an escape into the pond. So.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a tough one. I think I'm going eagle's nest too, just because you swim into the beaver lodge, so you're gonna be soaked.
But you don't like water much though, so I understand, George.
Yeah, I'd fly. Yeah, fly with the eagles. Yeah. Good question though. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
How about this one? Would you rather Jurassic Park or Ghostbusters be real?
Oh, Jurassic Park, 100%.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Can you imagine?
Be wild. Well, if dinosaurs were kicking around right now, do you think, how would we do it? They would just be cornered into one area. We'd have to, military would be like, hey, you guys are only allowed in this section.
Are we talking Jurassic Park 1? Or are we talking the newer version of Jurassic Park where Jurassic Park is just across the world and everybody's just living with dinosaurs?
Jurassic Park across the world.
I mean, I think the combies are going to be a nightmare. They're going to be running around, they're going to be stealing your food.
What's the combies?
They're the tiny little ones. They look like little rats, and they just run around and they bite you, but they have venom in their teeth. And I gotta say, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can pour salt all around my house, and ghosts can't get through the salt ring. Yeah. I can't do anything to keep
scientifically proven, folks.
Yeah, I watch Supernatural. I mean, I know it's not in the same genre as Ghostbusters, but I feel like your general ghost repulsion techniques are pretty universal throughout all of science fiction.
Scott, you're going Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, and if they're everywhere, I just have to have appropriate firearms to deal with the situation.
You got to be ready for them.
Yeah.
T-Rex coming through Hinton tonight. You know, they'd be like alarms going off. There's a T-Rex in the area.
You got a 50 cal mounted on your truck.
Oh yeah, everyone would have to be. Oh yeah.
I'm more interested in visiting Jurassic Park than I am to visiting Ghostbusters.
That'd be pretty wild.
But to live constantly with them, I need something that I can just like. I need technology that can protect me against them when I don't want to deal with them.
Yeah. Rubes?
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to have the ghosts. You know, maybe you can learn from them, and they'd be, I think, more fun to interact with. Obviously, there's some evil ones out there. The guy in the painting, whatever, Zorg or something like that, seemed like he had some pretty evil intent for humanity.
Yeah.
But overall, I think ghosts would be more cool.
Yeah, good points. All solid points. I do feel like you mentioned, like dinosaurs, they're just, it would change your life for sure. Every morning you're going out there, it's like there's going to be a T-Rex or a Triceratops.
Yeah, I mean, they're predators that never learned that humans are at the top of the food chain, more or less.
Yeah.
You know,
we might not be top of the food chain anymore.
They didn't get the memo that says, "Oh, actually, no, we rule the world, and you guys don't just get to do whatever you want." So all of a sudden they come back, and all of a sudden we're not the top of the food chain.
Yeah,
you know,
living in a world with dinosaurs would be an experience.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on.
I say.
Well, there is they found some DNA from what was it, mammoths that they're trying to recreate now.
Yeah, that's just big hairy elephants.
Yeah. And the dire wolf thing that made all the news turned out to be like just a tiny fraction of dire wolf DNA.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not. It didn't bring back the dire wolf at all.
I just saw that the other day, actually, and they were saying, like, the dire wolves are doing great, and we're planning on bringing back the dodo bird. I think, well, it's literally called the dodo bird. Are we really bringing back something that's going to benefit our society, guys?
It's a version of the dire wolf and a version of the dodo bird. You know, like, you can't tell the dire wolf that he's not a dire wolf, I think. They're exhibiting dire wolf behaviors, but are they actually dire wolves?
Genetically, they aren't. No,
they're not.
Yeah. Can you tell the dire wolf anything he can understand? Probably not. All right, what's our next whiskey to taste here?
You plow through that one already?
I've been savoring the 28-year-old.
It's fair.
It's good.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I like that. I don't know. There's a few other options on here. I
think we start going Scotch. So then, the Johnny Walker or you got a Highland one there, George, that you got
in that cardboard box there.
Yeah.
Let's try that one because it's got the flavor notes on the back.
All right.
Scott, pull that bottle up and toss me that box. I'll read the back of the box while you pour the drinks. But this is a Glengarrick single malt Scotch whiskey, Highland.
So single malt means that it's malted barley, and it all came from a single source, from one crop.
It's non-chilled, filtered, 12-year-old single malt grains, distinctive character for a marriage of bourbon and sherry casks. Interesting combo. Okay.
Yeah. So aged in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry casks.
So non-filtered, Reuben, what does that mean?
Distilled and bottled in Scotland, by the way.
So oftentimes, like, you know, your big mass-produced whiskey, they do a process called cold chill filtering.
Yeah.
And what they can do with that basically is just make it exactly the same. They'll also add color to it because everything coming out of the cask might be a little bit different color. And so if someone who's going to buy a bottle of Crown Royal, they want to have the exact same experience every single time they buy that bottle of Crown Royal. And to do that over thousands and thousands and thousands of bottles from thousands of different kegs is really quite incredible that they can get it, but they use filtering as part of the process, and it takes out some of the oils that's in the whiskey, so it can make a lower ABV whiskey kind of feel hotter in your mouth and feel like it's a higher percentage. And when you're pouring something that is from a single cask, you don't want it to be filtered because you want that extra oils. They want the mouthfeel that comes along with having that.
And this one is unfiltered. Correct.
Is that what it said?
Non-chill filtered.
Oh, it is filtered.
No, non-chill filtered. That means not unfiltered, essentially.
Non-chill filtered.
Because the other way, they use that chill filtering as a process.
Oh, okay. Its tasting
All right.
notes are fresh heather, poached pears, and malted barley. Creme brulee and sweet ripe fruits give this Glengarrick a long and memorable finish. Cool box it came in. It was on sale at the Wild Orchard there.
It smells very smooth and fruity.
From Scotland.
Oh, yeah, I get some of that like green apple from this as well.
The pear.
Yeah,
Pear. Johnny made a face about that one. Not a fan?
No, I do like it. It's I was making a face because I was realizing that many people have far finer tasting palates than I do.
This tastes like
Like, I mean, I can taste, like, I like this little bit of the flavor in the beginning of that, but putting in names to it, that's a little beyond
Well,
my
and some of it's the power of
experience,
suggestion.
you know?
If I
That's
tell
true.
you you're going to taste pear, and you drink
100%,
it thinking
yeah.
it, you're like, oh yeah, there's pear in there.
For sure. And I mean, some people are super tasters, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Just genetically, they are able to pick different flavors out of you.
Their mom was a taster, and their uncle was a taster.
You give them, a bowl of soup, and they can tell you every ingredient in the bowl of soup, and that's incredible to me. I certainly don't have
It's
that
their
refined of a palate.
superpower, whiskey
I'm certainly
tasting.
like, even with food and that, you know, like I'm a eat to survive. Like I don't, I'm not a
over
foodie.
with.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, I like food, and I think good food is great, but I can also eat potatoes with salt and a couple tomatoes and a steak, and
It is also a
doesn't-
skill, though. Like it's there's genetically people that it's nurture and nature. So you can. Some people are just naturally born with the skill of tasting. But you can also work on it. And the way to do that, I think, is read the tasting notes and then look for those flavors and try to find each one of those flavors individually when you're tasting it. I love doing that. That's one of my favorite things.
I feel like I can sense the smoothness of it. Like I can taste, like you have like your Jack Daniels, and there's not half a second before all of a sudden the bite hits you when you take a shot of that, you know? Whereas like you have your like 2080 or something like that, and you drink that, and like you're tasting the flavors, and then as you start to swallow it, all of a sudden you get like, oh yeah, no, this is alcohol. This is a bite of alcohol. I'm tasting,
I think a lot has to do with your sense of smell too, and I've got a big sniffer, so so I taste very well because I can smell everything, and my wife's always like, she's like, you smelled this? And I'm like, yeah, I smelled this, and I could smell that there was a diesel truck that drove down the road 2 minutes ago. Like, I got a bloodhound nose, so I do smell pretty good, but it's that big German nose that really helps
I
me
think
out.
you're hitting the nail on the head there, because I also have wicked sinus cold right now.
Oh, there you go.
I
Not
can
great
smell
for a whiskey tasting.
I can smell the whiskeys, but it's not like
when I go hunting, I can smell when the elk have gone through. I can smell elk, and I can smell bighorn sheep. I can smell bears even at times. I kid you not. So, yeah, big sniffer. That helps. Helps with the whiskey tasting.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's the nature gave you a little advantage there, but then
I guess, but
drinking
I got to
all the
walk
different
around with a big
whiskeys.
nose.
Yeah, trying all the whiskey. That's the way to really refine it.
So
This whiskey or this scotch has made my lips like numb.
really,
Yeah.
so this one, and Reuben, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm almost a Glenfiddich type of whiskey here.
Okay. Well, slightly different regions, but yeah.
Taste
like,
profile, I would have guessed this is like a Glenfiddich.
Yeah, similar.
There's no peat.
No, it's very low.
It's fairly
on the-
light and fruity.
Yeah, I would say it has the like kind of strong. It's a Highland Scotch, and it has strong characteristics of a Highland Scotch. The
Okay.
sweeter, kind of brown sugar. I get a little bit.
Oh,
in
yeah.
there.
I see brown sugar,
Yeah, and
It is very
vanilla.
sweet on that first
Yeah.
taste. It's very sugary.
I hope you like it, Scott, because it's going to be in the garage. Every time you come on the podcast, it'll be here.
I'll help you out with that.
Yeah,
That's
not
a
that
good
long.
one.
I don't think.
Yeah,
No, it's good.
Yeah.
it's nice. Yeah,
Yeah, Fiddick, I believe, is a Speyside.
I get a bit of salty taste in
yeah.
there too.
Yeah, that's not uncommon.
I think this was like $80 bottle ish.
Oh, you should have said 800.
I mean, this was an $800 bottle. Yeah, Glengarrick. I'll try to post some pictures of this stuff on our social media. It's just like we're going to burn through a few of these bottles tonight.
Okay.
And the problem with these podcasts is like we record for an hour and then we're like, all right, let's just have some more and then try this out and this and that. So, I mean, it's not a problem, I guess.
It's
but,
not a problem.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, not your problem. It's our problem. But
I didn't have a would you rather. I've talked about, encountering wild boars and bears a lot. But have you guys had encounters with muskrats?
I know
it
them at the
sounds-
golf course pretty regularly.
Did you?
But they
You ever been attacked?
They jumped in the water as soon as you kind of get close to them.
No, I kid you not. It's a
Muskrat.
real thing. Yeah, I know. I've been attacked by a muskrat.
Was it rabid?
No, it wasn't. They're pretty feisty, and
Was it
they'll
cornered?
take on your dog. Yeah, cornered if they have no other option. I've had them come up the ice fishing hole where you're like leaning down the hole and you're looking for fish, and suddenly the muskrat pops up in your ice tent and stares at you and goes back down. So that's fun. But one time I was on the prairies in March, and this muskrat was out in the fields. Snow was covered the ground there, and I thought, I'm going to run up to this thing because I'm sure I'm faster than the muskrat. So I ran right up to it, like from me to George away.
10
And
feet.
it was reared up on its hind legs and faced me. And so I went and clapped my hands just to get a reaction, and it attacked me.
Wow.
And came right on my leg and was like this little demon on my leg. I had to shake it off. I was laughing because, it's not
They
going
seem
to
harmless looking at them.
But it was that fight or flight instinct. It knew this thing's it probably thought I was going to eat it.
Yeah.
So it was like, I got to fight
This is
back.
my move.
And I was laughing so hard. So I started running circles in the field, and this little thing was chasing me.
wow.
Every time I'd stop, it would clamp onto my leg and my boot, and I'd have to shake it off. And no, I've since then heard of other people who have been attacked by muskrats. So if you're listening, wherever you are, if you have a muskrat attack story, we'd love to hear it.
Send it in.
I wonder, are they related to badgers? Because badgers are known for being ferocious.
They're rodents, but they're feisty. But yeah, badgers super feisty. Badgers, wolverines, otters, they're all in the weasel family. So
I gotta say the most only mundane creature you might say that I've been attacked by would be geese.
Yeah.
And like a chicken, run after you is fine, but a goose. I mean, my parents they had some geese. They weren't even Canadian geese; they were just white geese, and they were raising them. They used the eggs and that. Well, they were Canadian by birthright, but they were white.
Just thought by name.
they had a passport.
Citizenship. But they were the meanest geese that you had ever met. Then I have heard, I can't support this with facts, but I've heard that in some of the Asian countries like China, Japan, that they actually use geese as watchdogs because they will attack anything that they see that is.
They did in medieval times. Instead of guard dogs or with guard dogs, they'd use geese because they're so on alert all the time. I have been bit by a goose in the hand and it drew blood.
Yeah,
you ever look at a geese?
Little razor teeth,
They have
tiny
little razor teeth. In them. Yeah, and they'll draw blood if they bite you. So yeah.
How did it bite you?
I was sticking my fingers through a fence. And
You were asking for
I
it.
was asking for
I
it.
mean, I got bit as I was running away. It was on the leg, so it didn't draw blood. But it's a wicked pinch.
Yeah.
They have a jaw strength. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like a pit bull or a Rottweiler or a Kangal jaw strength, but they're enough that any human that gets pinched by them, it's gonna make you a little pissed off at them.
There was a YouTube clip I just watched about two Canada geese guarding their nest, and they scared off a grizzly bear.
Wow.
You can look it up, folks. And just the way they attacked it, the grizzly was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that grizzly he undervalued his skills, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
He could probably take those skills.
He can't go back to the bar and tell the story. He's
like, who filmed this?
I mean, this is gonna bring me into my next would you rather.
All right.
Would you rather fight an angry goose or an angry golden retriever?
I don't think I've ever seen an angry golden retriever. They're so friendly.
do they
and
exist?
Yeah,
I guarantee you could find an angry golden retriever.
I don't know. You'd have to be really doing something.
Once you step on his eggs or something,
maybe he just got fixed. He's still all pissed off.
He's not going to be too spry then.
He's got the cone around his head.
Yeah.
Well, goose. I mean, I've heard like they can break a bone with like their wings. Like they're powerful, but I would take on a goose.
Yeah, I'll take the goose.
I just would hate to do anything mean to a golden retriever. That's, you don't have to fight a dog.
Take the emotion out of it. Everybody loves a golden retriever.
Take the emotion out.
I'm emotional now.
It's a rabid golden retriever.
Okay, well that ties me into this would you rather. This was actually from Reuben's girlfriend Erin. She brought this one up today. Would you rather fight a rabid dog or a rabid woman?
Oh yeah. Oh. I think I had it. The rabid woman.
Was that yeah.
Man, anything I say at this point is going to be incriminating. So
Small rabid dog.
I shall sip my whiskey
Walk
and
on
keep my mouth
tiptoes.
shut.
You know what?
Rabid Shih Tzu.
My understanding is that I can't catch rabies from a rabid woman, where I could catch rabies from a rabid dog.
You can't catch it from a person?
You could.
If a person has
feel like
rabies?
Johnny-
If she's got rabies and she's biting you.
We're talking. We're not metaphorically talking.
No,
rabid.
no.
We're talking
It's
legitimately
real. She
rabid.
has rabies.
She's
and
got
attacking
rabies.
you.
She's frothing at the mouth. You've been there before, Johnny.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know the frothing at the mouth part. Yeah.
Scott, toss me that. My cigar's burnt out.
That's a tough one.
Yep.
That is a. I'm gotta say, depends on the woman for sure.
And depends on the dog.
It depends how fast the woman is. You know.
Mostly it depends on the woman for Johnny.
Yeah, it depends on the woman.
There's
Is it
no
someone I
safe
really
way
hate?
to answer this question.
Is it my ex that that I've been wanting to punch in the face for a long, long time? Is that what you're thinking?
But no, the wife I have, I love her and she's great, but she's not
She's not rabid.
nimble. She's not quick. Like she's a little clumsy, you know.
Okay.
Whereas a rabid dog, like every dog is. There's not a lot of dogs that are like, oh, I'm a really clumsy dog unless it's a bulldog or something, you know.
Like a Bichon Frise.
I mean, truthfully,
do I want
truthfully
to
a
fight?
dog bite could be.
Do I want to
pretty
fight
bad,
a rabid Ronda Rousey? No.
Yeah, that's
I see what you're saying, yeah.
I don't want to fight a rabid Ronda Rousey, but would I fight a rabid Ronda Rousey over a rabid pit bull?
Yeah.
There's
some scary dogs out there.
Yeah, and there's some scary women out there.
Yeah, so it is. There's not enough information.
I need a little more
in the clue.
information for that one. Yeah.
Okay, let's try another one of these. We are we're an hour into the podcast, so I feel like we should hammer through a couple of these.
We're not doing a 3-hour Joe Rogan podcast here
Well,
tonight.
yeah.
Hey, if Joe Rogan can do it, we can do it.
It's tough for me to hold a mic and a glass of whiskey and a cigar. And that's it, you know.
So
There's a
what's the
whiskey
next
glass I
flavor
saw the other
here?
day. That has a
We're doing
hole
the
built into
double
it
black.
Let's do the double black.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. You gonna pour for us
Johnny
here,
Walker
my
double
friend?
black?
Get the old. Now,
We're doing the double black.
where
Johnny
should
Walker.
Black, double black go into? Which,
Yeah, do we
which
put
glass?
it into the...
Well, I'm not quite done my 28 year, so I'm going to give you back the rocks glass.
Okay. Yeah, we're doing the rocks glass then.
Yeah. So double black, Johnny Walker, good old Johnny Walker, always a faithful friend.
Double black is... Like,
It's two blacks. It's
that
not
would,
just the single black.
yeah, it's not a single black. So it starts with red,
Yeah.
goes to black, to
Yeah.
double black. There's blue,
Blue
and
is
gold.
Blue is the kind of fanciest one. Gold is a step down from blue, and there's green. And green is blended malt. A lot of people say green is their favorite of the whole lineup.
I don't think I've had the green before.
So green is a blended malt, which means that it's all single malts that are going into the blend, whereas everything else is blended with both grain alcohol as well as malt, like barley.
Johnny is not short pouring.
Johnny's not known for...
And folks, it's a little dark in the backyard, so
Yeah, hard to see exactly how much you got, but this will do.
this will do.
It's a taster. I don't want to shortchange you.
Yeah,
No,
no,
exactly.
you're very
This is
generous,
probably-
Johnny, on
that's
your
probably
pours.
an ounce.
Yeah,
It looks like
I want to say that's
maybe
what,
an
ounce
ounce
and a half.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
it's almost
it's
like
a dram.
It's like a wine glass full of
It's a
whiskey.
dram. It's a dram.
I've known
guys.
Johnny for quite a few years, and
He's never short poured.
we've never like Johnny's not someone I hang out with him. We're like, let's do things in moderation, you know. No, we push it to the level, right, Johnny?
Yeah, we've reached some levels.
Well, I mean,
believe that.
we're dads now, so things
See-
have definitely
Oh, yeah,
leveled
it
out a
has.
little bit. But
I really like that. The
It's
Johnny
smooth.
Walker is got. I
you
mean,
got tasting notes for that one, Rubes?
I can.
It has a
What do
little
you
peat,
taste?
though, right?
a little bit.
I got a little peat on
Tiny
that.
peat and smoke. It's got a little bit of everything. It's not rough. It drops off smooth. There's some age to it.
I've got to say that this is the least like bite after the
Yeah.
initial
Yeah.
taste that I have all of them.
very
we have
Now,
so
part of
far.
that is your palate now is you being getting
Yeah.
used to tasting a bunch of different whiskeys. So you're
Impossible. I drink water between.
Yeah.
I drink water. I cleanse my palate between.
Well, this might be the other 7 drinks you've had at the golf course today, too, though, possibly.
But this is going to be one of the lowest. Is it bang on 40%? It is going to be one of the lower ABVs.
It'll be
out of
40.
everything. I think it's 40.
It's
That's-
double
that's-
black. That's the $80 bottle at the liquor store.
Yeah.
Oh,
So not like
Is it 42?
super cheap.
Maybe. I'm not.
It looks like there's something after the 4. I'm gonna have to grab my phone here so I can get a light on.
Yeah, it's pretty dark here to be reading any of this stuff.
That
I'll give you
4
the
is moving,
tasting
though.
notes.
Yeah, give us the tasting notes.
So they say Johnny Walker Double Black offers intense peat smoke,
Yep.
vanilla, dried fruit, and citrusy orange zest on the nose. A palate with lingering spicy and smoky notes on the finish, all from heavily charred casks used in its maturation. It's known for its depth, complexity, and smoldering, full-bodied character, making it smoky, sophisticated alternative to the standard black label.
I would agree with most of that.
Yeah.
You got the peat right away there, George.
Yeah.
Peat, smoke. There's some depth, brown sugary taste to me, full bodied for sure, and it doesn't have a lot of bite. Very pleasant.
It is a 40%. It was a percent that was throwing the eyes off there in very
Yeah,
low
it's
light.
lower ABV. But yeah, it's good for what it is, I think.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's good to go from this one to the McCullen's that Scott brought there.
Is that our last one?
I think so.
Well, we still got that Crown Royal thing you
Oh,
brought,
you
too.
have
though.
Crown Royal
we'll have
sour
a
here.
whiskey sour at the end.
At the end,
Yeah,
because
that's a
that's a
That's not really a
I'll
whiskey.
find
It's
little
a
cleanser
left
at the
field,
end
yeah.
there.
yeah.
we'll do
And what's the
McClellan.
other? What's this other bottle right here? There's 2 there we haven't tried yet.
You're
No,
seeing
yes.
double, George.
That's the pig head one or whatever, right? Okay.
All right, I got another Would You Rather here.
Hit me.
All right. You're hiking through a mountain pass.
All right.
Would you rather fall into a deep hole and require rescue, or would you rather fall off a ledge, get stuck on a tiny ledge on this giant rock wall, and need to be rescued?
I know my answer, but you guys go first. Because
I think
Scott's a rock climber.
I think I'm going to be more visible on the rock wall. I think I'm going to be able to yell and get better attention from people on the rock wall. Might have reception on the rock wall.
So you can watch your Netflix while you're waiting.
The rock wall seems. I mean, provided I'm kind of the same level of injury on both of the falls.
Yeah, what's the first one you fall
Well,
into?
You're the
Fall
same
into a
distance fall. So
hole.
say
You fall into a hole.
Yeah,
say
like a
25
cave.
feet.
Yeah.
25 feet. You're falling into a hole that's 25 feet. It's a dirt and rock hole. So
Does it have
Bumps
Wi-Fi?
and bruises, but you're not.
your
nothing's
bumps,
broken.
you're not nothing broken. You're not dying at the
Yeah.
bottom of the hole.
Nothing
with like
out of yourself. and
your shin bone poking out of your leg or something.
compound
But
fracture.
the chances of you actually crawling out pretty slim, or you're falling off. You slip off the edge. You slip down a hill and you fall off the edge of the cliff, and you manage to catch yourself on this little like lip there.
To me, it seems like an easy answer. Like, I would fall into the hole because then I can walk around and I'm like more, mobile. I can hang out. I can lay down and stuff. Whereas I'm on the ledge, it's like you're in panic mode the whole time.
I will say that I want to call the hole a crevasse just for the wife.
Sure. Crevasse.
It's not just a hole, but you got a little bit of movement in there, you know. But either way, the odds of you climbing up or down from this location are pretty slim.
Yeah. I'm going hole. I'm going crevasse.
I think you just don't have the, like, if you have a fear of heights, then you maybe don't have that. But you're going to be enclosed. Maybe if you're what's the one where you're closed spaces?
Claustrophobic?
Claustrophobic. Maybe you'd be worse there. But again, I still think my points about being rescued are really the more important things.
I disagree.
So
you're wrong.
Okay, so here's the thing. If Reuben is talking about rescue as a rock climber, he's correct. But I interpreted what you said is you're getting rescued either way.
Yeah, I'm going to say you have a beacon. Let's say
Okay. So then, you have as a guy who's almost froze to death multiple times in my life, I'm taking the hole because hypothermia is going to kill you before your fear of heights.
Yeah.
If you're in the hole, you're warmer, you're out of the wind. If the rescue's coming either way, I'm doing hole. But Reuben is correct. If we don't know if rescue's coming, you want to be visible.
I mean, let's say either way. So, yeah, I get the rescue option, but with the if you aren't planned on being rescued, but you're out 50 kilometers into the wilderness and you text your wife and said, hey, I'm just going on this hike for like 7 days, and you fall onto this on the second day, and so she's not worried about you till like the 10th day, you know. And so you may get rescued. People may notice that you're missing at a certain point. But
yeah, I thought it was more both are going to require rescue, but I didn't think rescue was on the way.
Yeah, rescue isn't guaranteed. I mean, there's always a chance to rescue if people notice you're missing. But
I'm going crevasse.
I think I got to go for the hole myself.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be the standalone cold guy on the cliff.
And the biggest thing even for that is in the hole, if you start trying to climb out, the most you're going to fall, if you can't climb all the way out, is as far as you've climbed up. Whereas if you're on the cliff face and you have this little ledge that you're staying on, either way if you're going up, the chances of you, if you do slip and fall, actually landing back on the ledge that you just fell from, pretty slim. And if you decide you're trying to go down to the ground beneath you, which is equal amount from the ground above you, well, you're just gonna hit the ground at the bottom. So yeah, I'm gonna say hole.
Okay. Rube, you had a couple would you rather's lined up too, eh?
Yeah, I did.
No pressure.
I'm out on a golf trip right now. I've played my 6th day. Not all full 18 holes. My
Can you give us a review of the Hinton golf course?
Hinton golf course was spectacular. Yeah, great shape. Really interesting
JPL
layout. I did Jasper Park Lodge. Yesterday. And Hinton was awesome. Yeah, there were some great views, really interesting course, and for the price, I got a discount on it. It was $49 plus tax
sweet.
with a cart, and JPL was $220 with the Alberta rate.
Shout out to our friend Kyle who golfed with us today too. He got an eagle on the first hole. He was -3
after 6 holes.
Which
he had a bogey, and he had 2 birdies, and so he really -4.
Had a great game,
but he had a bogey in that.
He wanted to make sure we brought that up on the podcast.
Kyle wanted us to mention his name. Kyle is the greatest guy you'll ever meet in your life.
Pleasure to golf with for sure.
I love Kyle.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah. We want to get him on the podcast, and he'll be on the podcast one day. We're not sure really what the topic will be, but he can talk about anything.
So actually, from Jasper Park Lodge, it was crazy to play there now. I played there once before when it was fully treed, and now they had the fires there a couple of years ago, and
last summer,
burned down all of the trees like on the golf course. So the golf course was in amazing shape, but the views were very different. And I actually brought back this souvenir, which is
burnt golf
this
ball?
is a melted Titleist one golf ball.
No way.
I'll pass it around here.
Found
you can
that
check
on
it
the
out.
course?
Yeah, found it.
So Reuben is passing around a golf ball that it looks like a meteor from outer space.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
black char on it.
melted and black.
But you can see the handwritten titles, just the EST of the Titleist.
That's
and
pretty cool.
And,
And that was
the
Jasper
red one
Park
on it.
Lodge. I was there about a week ago as well, and it just looks so different walking around there. I was actually charged by a bull elk once and had to get cover in one of the gazebos, which are now burned down. But still a beautiful lake. And by the way, folks, I found out that there are big trout in Lake Beauvais. I never knew that.
Scott, you're not allowed to talk about where the big trout
Yeah,
are.
don't talk
Because people are getting angry now.
We gotta bleep that.
Sheesh.
Maxwell Lake.
People get mad when Scott gives away
I
fishing
know.
secrets.
I was fishing today. I caught 5 beautiful trout.
Yeah.
I cracked the code. I'm not saying where.
What were you using?
I was using something really fancy that I've never used before.
Spinner.
Nope.
Fly.
Nope.
Worm. Come on, Scott.
I can't. It took me so long to crack the
divulge.
code, and as soon as I got it, they were hitting it nonstop. So I'm going out tomorrow again to get some more.
Disc golf ball was amazing. Wow. You found that in the bush? That is crazy.
They have like the kind of the wasteland area where the fires have hit, and there's quite a few of them.
I'll post a. Let me remind me to take a picture of this.
Yeah, you can take a
because
picture
This thing
of
is
it.
so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I looked for the one that I thought was the coolest look.
That's pretty cool.
I wanted to get a Titleist because they're so fun.
Yeah.
So my would you rather is I've got a couple golf would you rathers. Scott, I don't know how much of a golfer you are, but
I like to take the sling on the golf course.
okay, there you go.
So I was saying to Johnny today,
You know,
I'm pretty good with a baseball bat. I can fire one out of it.
It's funny you mentioned slings. My wife's aunt, she sent us a care package. She works in the lighthouses out on like Vancouver Island, so she'll like go out onto these lighthouses and she'll like do the weather for the people and whatever it is throughout the time there. And she sent me the thing she thought to send to me was a sling, which literally with the pocket and like the 2 like paracord arms on it,
Like
Yeah.
David
with a
took
sling.
down Goliath with.
Yeah, like David and Goliath, full on David and Goliath. So I got it like 3 days ago, and I haven't got a chance to try it out in the backyard.
We did a live podcast where we're doing firing slings.
With a sling.
Yeah, I've been
Scott's
shooting
got
sling
some
my
medieval
whole life.
slings.
I took George out. I can shoot a rock 300 plus yards with a sling.
Do you want to give it multiple rotations,
I
or is it more
don't.
of a
Some
one
guys
rotation?
do. I find one is enough, but I'm also
Okay.
a primitive hunter. So if you keep whirling that around your head, you scare whatever you're shooting at. So I taught myself years ago to shoot with one swing
Okay.
around the head. You get multiple speed.
Get a little whip to it.
Yeah, and we had the staff sling out too, which was used for fighting castle warfare. You can throw cannonball-sized stones. Man, you guys would love it. It's just
Okay.
crazy.
It
And
is pretty
the
wild.
old back in the old Navy warfare before cannons, they would throw Greek fire with a staff sling from ship to ship. And we were George did great on the staff sling. He was mastering that thing within a couple throws.
That's not bad. I got it. And, I mean, I live in the city, so obviously I'm not going to be throwing rocks around in my backyard because I just don't have the distance.
Bring it out here,
one
Johnny.
way or another.
Yeah.
But I do have some like foam golf balls that I've been like practicing in my backyard with. So I'm thinking I'm going to throw them into the sling, and if they go into somebody else's yard, oh whatever. I don't care if they hit somebody's window. It's not going to be hard enough to hit it. So
you can use tennis balls too, which won't kill anybody. And you know, if you've got a dog, take it out to a field and give it a go. Yeah.
Okay.
It was
That's
used
cool.
for thousands of years in warfare all around the world.
I grew up with the David Goliath story, and like in my head, David and Goliath, like David was a badass. He was just swinging that shit around his head, and then all of a sudden he wings at this guy and kills him.
I tell you, dude, the power is like a musket. So you could shoot a rock that would take an axe chop out of a tree. The big challenge is not power, it's aim.
Yeah.
And that just takes years and years of practice.
Well, I mean, given my golf fame, I should be pretty quick on the uptake there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, give us a golf would you rather, Rubes.
All right. Would you rather birdie 17 holes and then go 17 over par on the last hole to shoot even par, or just make 18 straight pars in a row?
Birdie 17.
Birdie 17.
I would be so excited.
Such a fun round.
Yeah, this is a great round. I mean, the last hole I'd be annoyed about, but every other hole I would be so excited for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd be pretty excited shooting 18 pars in a row, though, as well.
That's true.
Honestly. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Johnny?
That's a tough one. I mean, I feel like if I did, I would prefer the 17 birdies.
Yeah.
And I would tell
Just
people
a
I
tough
got
finish.
17 birdies on the hole, and I would just never, ever bring
Don't bring up the
I
18th hole?
never mention.
You black it out of your memory.
I would like, if they asked, I'd obviously share.
Yeah, so what'd you shoot?
I'd be like, yeah, no, I shot 72, you know?
Yeah.
It was good, but
Yeah.
like, oh, I did get like, oh, I got 17 birdies.
Yeah.
As long as they pick up on it, I'd be like, yeah, no,
line for a
17
course
birdies.
record, and then tough finish.
It's all in the order of it for me. If I could finish with the birdies, then I'm picking that.
Yeah, no, that's not the way it goes.
But that's not the way it goes.
No.
So I'm going for the par, just because I'd feel really good. But
Yeah.
It was a great round.
If I started with the birdies, I'd almost feel a little disappointed.
Oh yeah, your last hole you'd be
Okay.
tough way to
heartbroken.
finish.
Yeah.
Rubes, I can flip this around on you.
Okay.
If you went to a round and your first hole, you shot 17 over the amount,
I think I did one of those
the par shot for that, would you even continue playing?
That's I mean, I'm never not going to play. Most of my friends, like, it starts raining and they're like, I want to go home, and I'm like, no way. I will play if the course is open. They'll let me play. I am playing.
So you would continue after shooting at 21
definitely.
on a par 4?
Yeah. Absolutely, I would.
I've seen Reuben do it.
I'd be shocked that I'd be like, wow, that was what an amazing. John Daly just the other day was in the social media. He went like 12 or 15 over or something, and still shot an 88, I think, on his round.
I saw something about that. Yeah, he had the record for the most.
Yeah, it was just like penalty, hit it into penalty areas after penalty area after penalty area, and then I think he 4-putted or something.
Okay, give us another golf. Would you rather?
Okay.
Oh, well, should we? Is this the next one we got, Scott?
Yeah, we can introduce the scotch, and then we'll do another Would You Rather. So, my favorite scotches have a little bit of peat and smoke from Isla. Did I pronounce that right, Reuben?
You did, yeah. It's spelt Islay, as a lot of people say.
Islay.
If they've only ever read it, they would say Islay.
Islay, but it's actually Isla, and it's from a certain part of Scotland that has this peaty smoky. Now, most of them are quite expensive, but the McClellans you can get for $45. So I'm representing the working man here, the blue collar. It's got a bit of bite at the end, but it's got the peat and smoke, and I do like it quite a bit. So there you go, folks.
What's this stuff called then?
Yeah.
McClellan's Isla single malt.
Single malt.
Yeah, so it and smoky whiskey often will pair best with a cigar. So if you want to have a cigar smoke, and you have smoke and a whiskey, it's like that pairs really nicely together.
Do you taste the peat and the smoke there, fellas?
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about Isla that has the peat and smoke from that area. Did you go tour that area?
Yeah, we went to Isla.
What's the deal? Let's just.
You do get peaty whiskeys and smoky whiskeys from other parts of the country as well. But
I like that.
But yeah, that region, they kind of took it on. I think they liked it, and they just got known for it, and then they embraced that character, and so you can get unpeated. Like Bunnahabhain is from Isla, and I think most of their whiskeys are unpeated. They do have a couple peated options, but that region got known for smoky, strong peated whiskey.
And how do they embody the peat and smoke into the whiskey?
So the way they do it, when you're making like a single malt, you get the barley, and you have to wet the barley until it starts to sprout, and that's called malting.
Just like beer, same thing.
Yeah, it's malted once it started to sprout, and then to stop it from sprouting, you heat it up. And so to heat it up, they put it into this giant chimney on a big screen, and then they put smoke in underneath it. They have a big fire underneath, and they shovel peat, which is like grass.
It's like moss.
Yeah,
it's like moss.
It's like moss.
Thick
They
moss,
have big square chunks of it that they've dug out of the ground. They do actually do it quite conservationally now, because it's a little bit endangered. So they try to cut smaller chunks of it and allow it to fill back in. But anyways, they have a fire underneath at the bottom of this giant smokestack. and they shovel the peat in there, and the
Peat
goal
smoke,
of it was really just to get the heat to prevent the barley from continuing to malt, stop it from malting. So, but the secondary benefit that they realize is they're getting a lot of flavor profile from. So it's depending on how much they leave the barley in that room with the peat smoke, and then a little bit of smoke comes from the cask as well, depending on what whiskey was previously in the cask and how much they char the cask. And that actually, maybe contrary to what you'd like instinctually think, brings out, if you char the cask more, you can bring out more sugars and whatnot from the oak and bring out different flavors. So that's basically how they do it. And so if it's non-peated, then they're still, I think, heating up the barley to stop it from malting, but they're just not letting it interact with the smoke and letting the smoke linger. And they might not be using, I think they use coal actually quite often to heat up, but I think it's
get that
it's
coal
separated.
flavor.
I don't think they're getting the smoke in with the barley there. I think they're just using the heat.
I just find there's so much going on in the sip. Taste that, fellas. There's so many flavor profiles happening there. You get the peat and smoke and the sweet, and
I like the combo with the cigar too. Mixing
I remember
together.
Me in a past business venture, me and my friend, we were doing renovations, and then there was a group of designers that came up, and this was in Edmonton. They came up with a competition where they would have like a designer, a contractor, a furniture maker, and one other person. I don't remember what the other person was. And that was the teams. There were like teams of 4, and there would be like maybe like 10 teams or something. It was, and we would all compete in. We would have I think it was at Old Sobeys that we had, and we all had our own little locations and that we could do. So we all had this competition, and we all had a to who had the nicest area, and then some people, the flooring was unrealistic. It was an interesting competition. But the designer we were with, I think we came in second, and the designer we were with gave me and my business partner a scotch of some kind. I wasn't really into scotches or whiskeys at the time, and I took it and I drank it, and it's hard to remember, because now thinking back to it, I was like, well, under the right circumstances, that would probably have been good. If I was in that mindset, I would have enjoyed it. But like, I remember it, and I drinking it, and it was just the strongest. And I want to say now that it was the most like peaty flavor. Like it was. You're
just like,
it was hard to enjoy this. I was like, why would anybody like this?
That's
and I tell people, if you're starting with scotch, don't start with the peaty, smoky thing. It's a bit like diving in the deep end if you're learning to swim, but over time, you'll probably end up there.
John, I remember for like your birthday, we went to a whiskey bar one time.
That was Jamie.
Jamie's birthday?
You're thinking Jamie's birthday.
No,
we went to the
yours.
Wardrobe. I've never been to a whiskey bar for my birthday.
The Bothy?
No, Bothy. Was it Bothy?
It was off. It was off of Gateway. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
Gateway.
was Jamie's. That was Jamie's birthday.
But you were there.
Oh yeah, I was definitely there.
But it was like there was I think 6 different scotches. And it was like each one got a little bit more, and a little more, and a little more, and a little more.
Cool.
Have you guys ever done a cigar bar?
No.
Yeah, I have.
I haven't. It's on my bucket list
Montreal.
to pair it with a whiskey. I don't know if Edmonton has one.
A different cigar for each whiskey?
No, you'll go and you can order a specific cigar with a specific whiskey. I'm like, this is just genius. Yeah. But where do you find
legally, that? They you can't really have it in Edmonton. They can do private clubs, I think, still, where you could become a member of a private club and then go. But I went to a cigar bar in Montreal.
How was it?
When I was there. It was great. Yeah. And you know what pairs really nicely with a cigar is cider. Like,
is that right?
Yeah, I had this, like, that's what was recommended with the cigar that I got, and it wasn't Strongbow. It was like probably a craft locally made cider, and it was more like dry than a Strongbow. So not as sweet, not as juicy. But it was great. I was like, oh my god, it paired so nicely, and it was just at the recommendation of the server.
That's interesting.
I will mention that we went to Urban Smoke Specialty Smoke Shop in Hinton to get the cigars.
Oh wow!
Today.
Okay, so you made it this far into the podcast.
Yeah.
And by the way, folks,
they have a humidor
I'm
in there. Like,
probably
they have
only
such a huge
halfway
selection.
through the cigar.
Yeah.
This is like a 2-hour cigar.
Oh, yeah.
And it's good.
I'm getting there.
I think I need to buy a few more of these. These are really
These are
good.
tasty, and then,
Nice.
like maybe $13 a
But
cigar.
back to what Reuben was saying, I found that rum and cigars are just such a great pairing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Cuba, you get
Yeah,
a good
that
dark
makes
or
sense.
amber rum, a nice Cuban cigar. It's perfect, right? I don't know what it is about rum and cigars. It's
Are
just
you smoking like the Swisher Sweets too, though, or is that like too?
Oh, listen, man. Again, I'm reflecting the working man here.
Yeah, someone's got one in there.
affordable. Yeah.
Like you just go to the gas station.
But
and grab
I have started
10-pack.
rolling my own cigars from homegrown stuff. And what you do, you guys know pectin for making jam?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you add a little pectin, add a little bit of water, and it makes like an Elmer's glue. And so you roll your cigar, and then you use the glue on there to seal it up. And they look pretty crappy because I'm not a Cuban,
Yeah.
but they're like a
Smokable.
Oh, what's that package? Backwoods. Have you ever smoked
Oh, yeah.
backwoods?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
look like a
They're a little
backwoods
rustic,
cigar.
yeah.
And guess what? They're free because you grew it in your backyard. So the price is right.
Do you roll it in one of the like leaves of that you grew?
Totally.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you take the leaf and you cut out the big vein, and then you crush up the smaller leaves, and then you roll it. Remember, all of this has been fermented, aged. It smells like raisin. And then put a little pectin on there as glue, seal it up, and away you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Are we gonna try this Crown Royal thing?
Yeah. So
the Crown Royal, yeah.
we're ending on something very, very different.
Yeah, so
Does
this is
anybody have a would you rather that or a story that we haven't cracked yet?
I mean, I got a bunch of
Well-
would you rather's, but
Okay, give us one more would you rather, and then we'll hit the.
okay.
I'm ready to get into the near-death experience.
You got one?
Whenever we
Yeah,
want to
let's
get
go.
into
All
that.
right, let's do that one.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, I mean,
We're going for it
And-
tonight.
I mean, it's tough because when you're dealing with a near-death experience, you typically, was I close to death? Like, was I gasping for breath and hoping that I didn't die? No.
Let me stop you there because I've shared a lot of these, and I like to say it was a could have died experience.
All right, so
Yeah.
it would have been, why don't we say 20? So I was 18 years ago or so.
Yeah.
Me and my friends, it was around October. I want to say it was. You have to wear green. What's the occasion?
St.
St.
Patrick's
Patrick's
Day.
Day.
Patrick's Day is not in October though.
That's March.
Yeah, I know. I'm off though. No, it would have been around there. It was in March.
Yeah.
So it was St. Patrick's Day, and we were out in Edmonton drinking at the Irish bars. It's like 11 o'clock, and me and three other guys are sitting around there, and we're like, you know what? Let's go to Jasper, or let's go skiing. And I was like, we were like, all right. So one guy was the DD, and the rest of us, we stumble out of the bar, we go and get our stuff, and we get into the vehicle, and we start driving. And I think that night we made it to Hinton. And then it is Sunday. Monday morning we wake up and we're in this hotel. And I'm like, oh, shoot, it's Monday morning. I should probably call my boss and tell him I'm not going to be into work here now because, well, I'm in Hinton. And so we talked a bit, and we're like, none of us really want to go snowboarding or down to Marmot. So we were like, well, let's go for a hike. So we went down to Malign Canyon. And so we go on a little hike. We went to Malign Canyon. We drive there, and we're hiking up it, and we see guys with the ice gear. They're doing the ice climbing. Really cool, and we're walking up past that, and we kind of get to the end of the hiking area. And then we're like, wow, it's all frozen over. Like, we can we can do this. So we go up there, and there's this one section, and it's a pretty small area, and but there is like a hole that there's water through there, and so luckily three of us were like, hey, we're gonna keep on going. So we like climb around, and we get up onto the ice up there, and we keep on walking. We're like, this is good, and we walked. We maybe made another 40 meters, and then we reached like a huge waterfall. There was no chance we were going past. We're like, okay, well, this is kind of a waste. So we go back down, and our friend Daniel's down there, and he's like, how was the hike? And we're like, well, it was an all right hike, but there's no way we can get any farther. He's like, okay, well, let's get back down. And then we're looking down at this, and it's kind of like, it's a probably 6 foot high downward slope of ice, and all of the ice, we realize when we're standing above it, it all just kind of like slopes right down into the water that's going to go underneath water in Malign Canyon for a good 1,000 feet maybe before you get another through the water experience. And so we're like, oh, how do we get down here? So the first guy manages, and the guys at the top are kind of like lock our legs around some roots, kind of like undergrowing roots or something, and like, so we got their hands, and we're kind of like working them down to Daniel, and he grabs them where he has a good grip, and he gets them out, and he's like, okay, that's the first guy. The second guy goes down, but then you got the last guy that's up there, and you got the three guys down there. All of a sudden the guy who is guiding you down around the ice, he's got to just kind of hope for the best and hope that everybody catches him, and that was me. So I'm there, and you got like you grabbing the roots and trying to like twist your body as much as you can away from the 6 foot wide water hole down into the.
Are you in panic mode then, or are you just chill, or what?
I mean,
I feel like they've been drinking since St. Patrick's Day. So. Look, I don't know if this is the next day after St. Patrick's Day.
This is the day after St. Patrick's Day. So
they're comfortably numb.
Yeah. We haven't drank at all. It hasn't been, no drinking has happened since the night before. Right. And so I'm like, okay, so.
Did you feel like you were over your head?
Oh yeah. I knew
you're catching them. You're catching them.
No, he's being caught
I'm at
now.
the top. Everybody else has got down onto the safe spot, and I'm the guy who was like kind of like locked my legs around some roots and was like kind of passing them down, holding on their hands. So if they do slip down to the water, like I got you, and we can like swing you back or pull you up.
See, I met Jonny for the first time tonight.
Yeah,
he's a big dude. He's got big arms.
Yeah,
he's the right guy to be pulling people up.
And that's what we thought. We're like, you're the big guy. You're the guy who can help everybody. Like you're gonna hold on to him, right? Yeah. But then it's me.
You're the last one.
I'm working my way to the roots. I get as close to the roots as I can, and I'm trying to work my way down there. And long story short, I don't remember the exact details. It was nearly 20 years ago. So, but I do remember my feet did not hit the water, but I do remember letting go and them grabbing my feet and kind of like pulling me away from the water. So
they got you.
It wasn't a near-death experience because I wasn't in the water, like
you didn't die,
clamoring trying to get out of the water.
But it was
It was
if you would have got in that water, it would have been a
one wrong step in that situation, and I would have gone under. I want to say at least 500 feet of ice, and let's be honest,
bad news bears.
That's beyond
especially when the water's moving. I mean, you're toast. It's one thing to break through a lake where you're bobbing like a cork. Another with moving water, you're gone.
That's tough.
And I've always said, because I rock climb, mountaineer, gravity has no mercy. Like it's always going to pull you down. So
I've had some experience with skiing where we were skiing down in the summertime. This was actually, I did a freestyle skiing camp.
in the summertime?
Yeah, I did a freestyle skiing camp up on the glacier in Whistler.
Oh, wow.
And it was unreal. Like world-class coaches, Yanni Latella, Johnny Mosley, Heath Ordaway, anyone who knows skiing might know these names.
Yeah.
But Tanner Hall was one of the coaches. He had a video game, so he's pretty famous.
Yeah.
And anyways, I was up there with some other, like, it was all people way better skiers than me, and they were like, yeah, let's ski. I think they said it was called the Sudan face, and so it's not that, like, it's a very steep face, and you can ski down to where you get onto the chairlift, and then you take the chairlift down, because the only snow is up at the top of the mountain. And so you can ski down this face to where the chairlift area is, but if you fall on that face, it's so steep that you're not going to stop falling, and because it's the summertime, the bottom of where you end up after you're falling is all just a bunch of jagged rocks. So you can, if you can ski it pretty easily. It's not like there's not a ton of powder. It was pretty, but it was very, very steep, and you just have to make sure that you don't fall, because if you fall, it's a could have died experience for sure.
Yeah,
if you didn't die, you're for sure gonna just get really cut up and banged up, and probably some broken bones.
So we've all skied winter hills, but I've never skied a summer glacier. I imagine it's pretty grainy.
It's very similar to spring skiing. It was soft snow,
slushy, grainy.
I was in my t-shirt like 3 of the 5. I was there for 7 days of skiing, and like I think it was 10 days overall, the full camp.
Okay.
I got to do the thing where you go down a big jump into a swimming pool. Like, it's for training for the aerials, and they do this cool thing. You go off the jump, and they hit a button, and it puts a big air bubble up, and it breaks the surface tension of the water. So when you land on the water, it's not like landing on hard. It's like landing on soft snow. It's a weird experience, because you can land totally flat, like on your back, and it's just like it's like a cushion.
So you splashing into the water or skidding across it?
No. Like, you go up the jump, and like, the aerials where they do like full, double, full, twisting, spinning, triple backflips. It's for that kind of training. Aerials freestyle, which I never really did. I was big into moguls and like park skiing.
But you land in the water.
But you land in the water. You go on the skis. There's a big giant ramp, and there's like brushes that are upside down, and you're skiing down on your skis on brushes, and you go off of a jump, just like the lip of a jump.
Yeah.
You can't go on your edges at all. They tell you, like, okay, no edges. You got to straight line it. No speed checks.
Yeah.
Straight line it into the thing, and then hit the jump, and then do whatever trick you want to do. I think I just did like.
Triple backflip?
No. I did like a mute grab, like a corked 360 mute grab, I think was the trick I was going for.
Danny
I kind of ended up weird. But yeah, when you land on the water, they push this button, it releases an air bubble up, and that air bubble comes and breaks the surface tension. So it's like they do it for divers too. If you're diving,
sounds like AI.
If you hit the 10 meter,
they have like water bubbles coming up through the water where you're landing, or they'll have like a big spray cannon, like.
I still can't picture what you're landing. So you're landing in a swimming pool.
It's a big circle pool, maybe about the size of your deck. Bigger.
So
than
then you swim over
maybe
to the corner and take your skis off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wearing like
Speedo.
Speedo. I was wearing a life jacket. I was wearing a life jacket. So yeah, you're not sinking, but. And I was boots that they had. It wasn't my ski boots, because like they get soaked and they take 3 days to dry.
So I want to circle back to the moguls for a second, because I ski moguls just to survive. I'm terrible at it, but I do it. Are you using a special shorter ski for moguls, or what are you using?
Actual mogul skis are shorter, and they're actually like old skis. Like they don't have, the new skis have a lot of what's called side cut,
parabolic.
They're parabolic shape, so they're often 140 mils up in the tip, and then they might be 90 mils in the waist, and then like 120 mils in the tail.
Correct.
So they're like an hourglass kind of shape is the best way to describe it. Mogul skis, even new ones, they're like maybe 80 in the tip, and then like 75 in the waist, and then like 78 in the tail. So they look almost straight. They have a little tiny bit of side cut, and then definitely shorter. So the faster you're skiing and the deeper the snow you're skiing in, the more the longer you want your ski to be and the wider you want your ski to be. The more surface area you have in contact, the better flotation you'll have. So like if you watch the Olympic downhill, those guys are skiing on skis that are like a foot above their heads. Right? Like big, long, 200 no, they're not skiing moguls.
No,
like the downhill race,
on the downhill.
Where they do the big, massive roller jumps and whatnot. And then the shorter the turns that you're making, the shorter the ski you want.
Right.
So if you look the slalom guys, then they're skiing on sometimes 170 centimeter, 180 centimeter, depending on the height of the person, between your chin and your nose, maybe at eye level. If we're fitting a beginner skier, we definitely want to get them into a shorter ski. The shorter skis are a lot easier to control, especially at slower speeds, but they lose at higher speeds. They're not as stable. They get more chatter, but they're in a mogul where you're not going nearly as fast as you are on an open face. The shorter skis they're easier to pivot. Right. So they're definitely a lot better in the moguls.
And how did your knees hold up to that?
Well,
when I watch guys who really know how to mogul ski, it just looks brutal on the knees. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking you can't keep that up for years.
It's not as hard on the knees. I mean, the faster you're going, the harder it is on. But if you're out and you're not trying to get down the hill in a timed run, you can ski moguls like pretty casually, and it might look, the other people might be like, oh my God, his knees are going to explode. But the more you have, like, the more you're used to it, and the more
because you're kind of bending.
You're absorbing it. You're absorbing the bump.
Are you absorbing it in the knees, or
it's not just the knees? You're bringing your knees up to your chest, and then you're pivoting, and you're. It really depends. There's this the CSIA, the Canadian Ski Instructor Alliance, way to ski moguls. You actually don't stay in the trough of the mogul. You're skiing up on top of the mogul, pivoting on top of the mogul, and then breaking down the backside of the mogul, and then maybe skiing in the trough for a couple, and then skiing back up on top of the mogul. So you're not taking the CSIA's way. You're not taking a straight line from the top of the hill down.
Are you using edges much or not?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, yeah, definitely.
At the top.
It depends where you are on the mogul. It really depends how you're trying to ski. If you're trying to ski for a competition mogul run that's timed, you need to get to the bottom as fast. You need to stay in the trough of the mogul, which is in between the moguls, and then you need to just absorb and pivot as fast as you can. You extend through the.
You're a rainbow trout running through.
See, I do moguls just to survive, so I'm not pretty, but it's impressive when you see someone who knows what they're doing on the moguls.
It's an interesting thing from like a snowboarder's point of view, because like I had been snowboarding for a while, and I'd been going to the gym hard, like doing my squats, doing my deadlifts. Like my legs were strong. I could press a lot. Mm-hmm. And then I went snowboarding. I was like, I should be fine. It'll be good. But the action of your legs when you're into like a mogul and like back and forth situation, it's different than when you're like trying to lift something with your legs, right? So like when you're doing into that, when you're doing a lift, you from the very bottom, you're like pushing the weight up, right? But when you're snowboarding and you're going over the moguls and you like hit this, and then your legs are actually contracting at the
it feels a lot zigzaggy
of your legs, right? Instead of at the contraction of your legs and pushing into the extension, your legs are contracting at your extension, and that's when they're flexing, and then you're trying to like release the strength instead of it's just like the exact opposite of your traditional leg training situation.
It's uncomfortable doing moguls on a snowboard.
I'm gonna be good, and I snowboarded with a couple of friends of George's, Jeff and Jordan, and a couple of people in there, and I was with them. I was like, I'll be good. But yeah, like after a day, my legs were trashed. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do a second day of what you guys are doing.
Oh, okay, Scott has poured us a drink here.
Yeah,
I'm getting a smell of gummy worms.
Oh, gummy worms! Yeah, interesting.
Tell me who brought the bottle and what is it?
Yeah, that's Rubes. That's a Crown Royal whiskey sour. and it's pre-mixed. So whiskey sour is typically bourbon and like fresh lemon juice and simple syrup, which is just like sugar. Would this be like a
go-to order you'd go at the bar?
Yeah, I love a whiskey sour at the bar.
I do like adding when they add the eggs, you get like the froth,
so you
the
make
egg
a
white.
foam. Oh, you make a foam out of egg. And
out of what we've been drinking, this is
George nailed it with the smell of gummy worms. Like I just took a sniff.
I love that. Yeah. The sour soother.
Yeah, put it on the bottle, folks. The gummy worm whiskey.
How much for a little bottle like that?
This is like $25.
Yeah.
Not a ton. It'd be better over ice, and it'd be better, like as Johnny was saying, if we had the foam. You make a foam out of like egg whites.
This tastes terrible.
Like a meringue.
Put like egg in there to make the meringue. I could taste this on ice.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of citrus. That's the biggest. And this is made. Also, I think there's a blackberry.
Gross, man.
You don't like it?
Terrible.
Yeah, I like it. I especially like it at the end of a flight of a lot of different whiskeys. It's like, this is light. This is refreshing. The citrus. I mean, the citrus notes are unmistakable.
I may be a bit hard on it, but it is.
I think ice would make all the difference for me.
Yeah, I think ice would be good too.
And ice is the thing that when you get into the whiskey drinking, that's something you got to discuss, right? Like personally, my first taste of a bottle, I'll have just neat. But after that, like, I don't mind throwing a cube or two of ice into it. Some people want that authentic taste, and they'll throw like the frozen whiskey rocks in instead of putting just the ice in, and then get that water addition.
Making it colder will like kind of dull some of the taste of it.
I like my whiskeys without ice, always have, but something that's sweet. Like, to me, this tastes like a dessert. Yeah. I would like some ice on it.
I need some 28-year-old stuff to wash this down with.
Any that
left there, John?
We need some $400 whiskey to wash this down.
This is the whiskey equivalent of ice wine. You know?
Johnny, can I take a drink of that $28? I mean, 28-year-old.
I don't have any $28.
The Crown Royal is about $28.
Yeah. I want a little sip of that 28. Just as we wind down the podcast, just a little sip of that stuff.
As we wind down the podcast, folks, I don't know, but this cigar is still going strong. Yeah. And we've been going.
George, what's the time?
It's like a 2-hour cigar. I think we got to give it up for the Nicaraguan cigar.
Mine is like a 4-hour cigar.
Oh my goodness!
But it's gone out a couple times.
You got to puff on it regularly to keep her going. Yeah. But the cigar, like hitting the cigar, and then like there was a few of these glasses I'm like taking a sip, hitting the cigar, taking a sip, hitting the cigar, and like it's a nice combo.
Pairing, definitely. Yeah.
It's been an hour 46 minutes.
Hour 46.
Wow. Yeah. So another hour to do a Joe Rogan podcast.
And that's awesome.
I mean, I know we got it in us, but the thing is,
Joe Rogan regularly listens to this. So
thanks, Johnny.
Yeah. Joe, shout out to you.
Yeah.
The thing is about these podcasts is like. Scott and I say this all the time. I know Reuben and I used to do a podcast together too. It's the same thing. It's like once you turn off the mics, then everyone gets like
says the most brilliant thing.
Yeah, exactly. Stories. It's like, we turn the mics back on.
Always happens.
That's funny.
Yeah. It always happens.
Yeah. There's like a little bit of pressure when you got the mic in your face all the time.
But if you're listening, folks, and I do know a lot of people that are listening to this now, driving to work.
Really great.
Feedback. This is a good time. Hopefully, you learned a bit about some of the whiskeys we got, and give it a go.
Try some whiskey, try some cigars.
Do you want a song, George, to finish it off?
Oh, are you gonna play a song on the guitar?
My guitar's far away.
Bring the guitar. It's right at the door there.
It's far.
Right. You want me to grab it?
I was just gonna sing one without a guitar.
I can bring out the guitar.
Just a cappella.
Reuben Anderson music.
Now Moonlight Magpies.
Moonlight Magpies?
My new band. Yeah, that I'm
no way.
really excited about.
What's the story about
Moonlight Magpies, my friend Jenny May Smalley. She's a fantastic artist, and
I can grab that guitar.
She's awesome. I love her, and we've been making some, like, writing songs together and making some great music.
The Living Daylights, check them out. That
was me and Kimberly.
Such a man.
I just partied with her at Robson. We both played Robson Valley Music Festival. And we jammed until like 5 a.m. and played all kinds of old Living Daylight songs. It was really fun to play music with her again. But anyways, there's a song.
Rubes, I know you don't really want to do this, but I would love to like end the episode with a couple songs.
Okay, sure. You can grab the guitar. I'll play.
Is it right at the door here?
It is right at the door. Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. It's always tough. I mean, we're not in a recording studio here. We're in a backyard, and so getting a nice balanced tone recorded from me playing the guitar might be challenging, but we'll do our best. The one I was going to sing is called "The Humors of Whiskey." It's a song I used to do St. Patrick's Day gigs from time to time, and it's just an excerpt of a song actually that I heard Hosier sing one time, and I was like, oh, that's great, and so great for St. Patrick's Day because it's Irish.
Rubes, I'm down for you to sing that song too.
I'll give you the humors of whiskey, and then we'll finish on something with the guitar.
I just Reuben is such a great artist, and like I know you love, like, you go to the North Country Fair, you're sitting around the fire, you're playing songs, and it's just like,
it's one of my favorite things.
To capture that on the podcast, I would love to have a couple songs.
I'll do my best to help with that.
We used to do a podcast in Edmonton, me and Rubes and Jamie together, and like we would have these bands come on all the time, and it was just like such a cool.
We do a podcast and then we play a song together at the end of the show. That was a really fun way to end the show for sure. Oh man,
and there would be so many, like, I remember what was Travis's band?
Party on High Street.
Yeah, Party on High Street. They were touring in a van and they came to our house and it's like, hey, we're just gonna play a bunch of songs, and
it was fun.
It was amazing.
It was great.
And Reuben just is like so connected with the Alberta music scene and the Edmonton music scene, and like the Give 'em Hell Boys, and
many great. I mean, it's shocking. I mean, I think every city, when you kind of dig into the nitty gritty, there's brilliant artists out there that just aren't known.
Oh, yeah, Johnny, this is the stuff. Nice one.
Johnny, you should pour me another one of those, too. Otherwise, you're hoarding all the $400 whiskey for yourself.
$400 whiskeys.
If we're going to finish one of these bottles today, can we say that's one that we probably should?
Yeah. Reuben, if you need a little liquid courage for your song.
For my song?
Yeah.
Have you heard Reuben's music before, Scott?
I have not. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I don't
Scott,
have
around the campfire.
Reuben was like a couple like big... Well, I mean, like Living Daylights.
Yeah,
you guys had some amazing tunes and like just played a lot.
Yeah,
hey, Living Daylights are playing
festivals, and we didn't ever go on any kind of world tours, but played a lot through Western Canada here.
Yeah,
mostly Edmonton area.
Yeah, well, that's Reuben Anderson has is Reuben Anderson music.
The website's still up. Going? Actually, it's funny. It's still. I need to get in there and update it because it still talks about my ex as a current project. And my current, she doesn't love it.
Not a huge fan of that.
Well, she talks about
Reuben, can we hold mic? You hold his vocal mic, and I can hold the mic on the guitar here.
Yeah, how do you want to do this?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you're gonna sing. So Reuben's gonna sing us.
There's a whiskey song.
All right.
It's just an excerpt. It's very short. It's 30 seconds of singing, but it's called "The Humors of Whiskey," and I just think it's a great little whiskey tune.
Right.
I heard Hosier sing it in a video, and I was like, oh, that's great. I got to learn that for the next St. Patrick's Day's performance. So it goes like this. Come and guess me this riddle. What beats pipe and fiddle? What's hotter than mustard and milder than cream? What best wets your whistle? What's clearer than crystal, sweeter than honey, and stronger than steam? What can make the dumb talk? What can make the lame walk? What's the elixir of life and philosopher's stone? And what helped Mr. Brunel to dig the Thames Tunnel? Sure wasn't it whiskey from old Inishowen? So stick to the creature, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. And boys, I'd half wonder if lightning and thunder wasn't made from the plunder of whiskey, me boys.
Love it.
Isn't that cool?
That's perfect.
That's sweet. I like that, yeah.
Yeah. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey.
Thanks for listening tonight, guys. Ruben's going to serenade us with a couple songs as we end the podcast.
I already gave you one.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see enjoy the music. This has been another episode of the Wilderness Wavelength Podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sending the emails in. We've been actually getting a lot of emails with guest suggestions, which is super cool. It's like there's more people that want to be a guest on the podcast than we can have podcasts for, which is what we're looking for. Awesome. It's like, hey, this guy will schedule soon. So
I think I was going to say there's more people to be guests than there are listeners. So
The listenership it's climbing. It's climbing, and it's just great to see.
Awesome. You guys fill a good niche.
Europe, United States, Canada.
It's been great. Cool. So a big Scott Sunderwald, obviously a big part of this.
Yeah.
Scott, love having you a part of it. Johnny, thanks for coming.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. We're gonna if Ruben's gonna serenade us with a few songs, sing a few songs as we wind this down.
Yeah,
but
I got
thanks for listening to this. And
47 minutes of songs here.
Yeah, 47 minutes of songs. And until next week, stay wild.
This is a song that I play at campfires, like almost every campfire I go to. I love playing this song. It's from my youth. It was actually the theme song of a TV show that I loved when I was a little kid. So we'll see if you guys recognize it. And if you do, that makes me happy. There's a voice keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end, a new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, we'll travel light, that's hobo style. And maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. Alright! There's a world waiting to unfold, a brand new tale that no one's ever told. We've journeyed far, so you know it won't be long. We're almost there, we paid our fare with a hobo song. And maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Thanks, everyone. Nice. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.
Wilderness Wavelength.